You wake up, and for a moment, everything feels okay. Maybe you slept all right. Maybe the morning light looks pretty coming through the window. You make your breakfast, you eat it, and then somewhere between an hour and 2 hours later, it hits you like a wall. That heavy, foggy, almost dizzy feeling where your body feels like it just powered down. Your hands might feel a little shaky. Your mood shifts. You get irritable over something tiny. You lose your train of thought mid-sentence, and somewhere deep down you think, what is wrong with me? Why does this keep happening? If that sounds like your mornings, I need you to stay right here, because what I am about to share with you changed everything for thousands of people who felt exactly the way you feel right now, and it starts with something as simple as what you put on your plate before 9 a.m. Now, before I go further, if you are serious about actually solving this and not just understanding it, there is a program linked down below in the video description. It goes much deeper than this video, and people who are using it right now are seeing results that took them years of suffering to finally find. But I want you to earn that link by actually watching what I am about to share, because this information alone will shift the way you see your entire day. Let's talk about what is actually happening inside your body. Most people think blood sugar crashes are about being diabetic or having some serious medical condition. They think, well, my doctor said my levels are fine, so I must be okay. But here is the truth that most doctors simply do not have time to sit down and explain to you in a 15-minute appointment. You can have blood sugar levels that are considered clinically normal on a test and still be riding a brutal roller coaster every single day that is quietly destroying your energy, your focus, your mood, and even your long-term health. Researchers have spent decades studying what happens after meals, and what they have found is that the standard breakfast most people eat in the morning, the one that feels healthy or quick or convenient, creates a spike in blood glucose that shoots up fast and then crashes down hard. And that crash is not just about feeling tired. That crash triggers a cortisol response in your body. It puts your nervous system into a mild stress state. It makes your brain crave sugar and carbohydrates desperately because your body thinks it is running out of fuel even though you literally just ate. This is not weakness. This is biology. This is your body responding exactly the way it was designed to respond to the wrong inputs. And here is where I want you to really feel this for a second. Think about how many years you have been waking up and fighting your own body without even knowing it. Think about how many afternoons you wrote off as just being tired. How many times you snapped at someone you love because your blood sugar tanked, and you had no idea that was the reason. How many important moments, conversations, decisions, opportunities, you moved through in that foggy crash state and never operated at the level you were actually capable of. That is not a small thing. That is your life. And nobody told you this was preventable with a breakfast swap. Here is what the research consistently shows. The most common blood sugar crashing breakfast is built around fast-digesting carbohydrates eaten without adequate protein, without healthy fat, and without fiber. Think about what you have probably eaten this morning, or what you eat most mornings. Toast, cereal, oatmeal made with just water or milk, a granola bar on the way out the door, maybe just fruit and coffee. These foods are not evil. But eaten alone or in certain combinations, they send your glucose through the roof in under 30 minutes and then drop it just as fast, often below where you started before you even ate. Studies show that meals with a protein content below 20 grams in the morning are directly associated with significantly higher cravings, lower energy, and more pronounced blood sugar swings throughout the entire rest of the day. Not just the morning, the whole day. One breakfast decision cascades forward for the next 12 to 16 hours. And now here is the pattern interrupt you need. Because the solution is not complicated. It is not expensive. It does not require you to become someone who wakes up at 5 in the morning to meal prep or track every single calorie. What the research actually supports, and what thousands of people have now confirmed through lived experience, is that when you anchor your morning meal around 3 specific things in the right combination, the crash stops. Not eventually. Not after weeks of adjustment. Within days, sometimes the very first morning. Those 3 things are protein, fat, and fiber, consumed before or alongside anything that digests quickly. That is the swap. Instead of toast alone, it is toast with eggs and avocado. Instead of cereal, it is Greek yogurt with nuts and berries. Instead of fruit on its own, it is fruit paired with a handful of almonds and a hard-boiled egg. The fiber slows how fast carbohydrates enter your bloodstream. The protein triggers satiety hormones that keep cravings quiet for hours. The fat tells your body this is a complete fuel source, and slows gastric emptying so glucose rises gradually instead of all at once. When glucose rises gradually, it does not spike. When it does not spike, it does not crash. And when it does not crash, you move through your morning like a completely different person. People describe it as feeling like someone turned the lights on, like going from watching a fuzzy old television to suddenly having a crystal clear screen. The focus sharpens. The irritability that they had blamed on stress, on not getting enough sleep, on just being a moody person, it disappears. The desperate need to snack by 10 in the morning goes away. The 2 p.m. wall that they had basically accepted as just a part of life gone or dramatically reduced. Now I want to be really honest with you about something. Some people watching this right now are thinking, I have tried eating more protein in the morning before, it did not really change anything for me. And I hear that, I really do. Because here is what most people get wrong when they try this. They change one thing and they leave everything else the same. They eat a boiled egg but they still have orange juice. They add Greek yogurt but it is the kind loaded with added sugar. They have nuts but they are honey roasted. These small details completely undo the mechanism. The sugar in the orange juice, even natural fruit sugar, still spikes glucose on its own before the protein even begins to register. The added sugar in flavored yogurt cancels the benefit. The honey coating on nuts adds a glycemic load that tips the balance in the wrong direction. This is why so many people feel like they tried everything and nothing worked. It is not that the approach does not work, it is that the execution had tiny invisible holes in it that nobody pointed out to them. And this is also exactly why general advice from a quick internet search often fails people. The nuance matters enormously. The sequencing matters. Eating your protein before your carbohydrates in the same meal, something that has now been validated in multiple peer-reviewed studies, can reduce the glucose spike from that meal by up to 73%. 73%. That is not a minor tweak. That is a fundamentally different metabolic response from the exact same foods just eaten in a different order. So here is what a genuinely crash-resistant morning can look like, and this is so much simpler than you might be expecting. You wake up. Before anything else, you drink a glass of water with a small amount of apple cider vinegar or lemon juice. This primes your digestive system and has been shown in multiple studies to reduce post-meal glucose spikes by a meaningful margin. Then you eat. Eggs come first if they are part of your meal. Or if you are doing yogurt, eat that before any fruit. If you are eating toast or any kind of carbohydrate, you eat it last, after you have already consumed the protein and fat. You avoid all fruit juice. You keep any sweeteners minimal. You make sure your total protein is hitting at least 20 grams. And you do not have caffeine before you eat, because coffee on an empty stomach elevates cortisol and actually worsens glucose regulation in many people. That morning takes maybe 5 minutes longer than what you are doing right now. And in exchange for those 5 minutes, you get a body that works with you instead of against you for the next 8 to 10 hours. Calculate that. 5 minutes invested every morning translates to potentially 8 to 10 hours of better energy, sharper thinking, more stable mood, and lower food cravings every single day. Over 1 year, that is thousands of hours of your life reclaimed from that foggy, crashed state. This is the kind of shift that people say they wish someone had told them 10 years ago. And if you have someone in your life who is silently suffering through this every day, not even knowing it is fixable, you already know what to do. Now here is where I want to be direct with you. What you just heard is the foundation. It is real, it is powerful, and if you apply it starting tomorrow morning, you will feel a difference. But if you are someone who is ready to go deeper, who wants a fully structured approach that takes all of this complexity and turns it into a clear, simple day-by-day roadmap so that none of the details slip through the cracks and the results actually stick, then the program linked down below in the video description was built exactly for people like you. Most people will watch this video and forget about it by tomorrow. They will go back to the same breakfast. They will feel the same crash. They will accept it as just how they are. Do not be that person. The people who actually transform how they feel every day are the ones who decide today that they are done accepting a body that crashes before lunchtime. If that is you, do not wait. Go to the description right now before the next video starts playing, before the moment passes. The link is there. Your next chapter starts with whether or not you click it.